All right. Hello. Come on into the healing room. Come on in. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining the healing room. My name is Marcia Williams. I'm a licensed therapist and I'm a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. And every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, I am sharing with you questions that are most commonly asked by my clients that I work with in my therapy practice and my coaching practice. So tonight is a hot topic because if you have experienced a relationship with a narcissist, of course, your number one goal is to not make the same mistake twice. And for some people, not make the same mistake 3 times. So we're going to be talking about hi Judy, hi Barbara, hi KK, hi Tasha, keep coming on in, good to see you all. Tonight we're talking about the 5 signs that you're dating a narcissist. How to know and catch the signs before it's too late. I am going to be also weaving in my personal story because I'm with you. I wish I had seen the signs. I wish I had known what I was getting myself into, but I was swept off my feet with charm. And that is what led me into a 5-year dating relationship that led to a 30-year marriage with a narcissist. I have been divorced for 4.5 years. Very happily divorced, moving forward with my life. And I am so happy to have had that experience so that I could be here with you today to give you all the knowledge and tools that I didn't have during my 30 years and in my healing journey as I came to understand who I am and recognizing who I was not, but who I was groomed to be, has been so healing and transformative for me. And it can be for you too. So thank you for being here. We're talking about the 5 signs that you're dating a narcissist. And even if you're not dating, you may still be in a relationship with a narcissist. I am sure that you are hoping that this dynamic does not repeat itself in your life. So you may need this information now, or you may need to put it in your back pocket as you are on this healing journey for when you are ready to get back out there. A lot of us fear dating after a narcissistic relationship. And naturally, it's because of what we went through. This experience of being married to or in a relationship with a narcissist is devastating. It's absolutely devastating. We lose ourself in every way, shape, or form. And I can honestly say that personally, completely lost myself. I only knew myself to be a mother, a wife, and a career woman. If you asked me who I was, that's what I would say back then. Now, I know that I am so much more than those things. I love my children to death. I have 3 boys in their 20s and one is turning 31 next month. Telling my age, yes, proud of it. I'm 55 years old. I met my narcissist when I was 17, as soon as I hit the college campus. And so here I am in this new environment, just straight out of high school. And I literally called him for the longest time my knight in shining armor. my knight in shining armor. He was everything that I thought I wanted in a man. And even though we went through a lot of ups and downs, relationships are hard, whether they're healthy or not, takes work. But in a relationship with a narcissist, before you know that they're a narcissist, you are likely to miss the red flags. So I want to share with you tonight what those red flags are so that you can listen to your gut. Because when we second guess ourselves, we are not listening to our gut. And our gut is our spirit. Our gut is what guides us. But it's also what is destroyed in a relationship with a narcissist. Because we are taught and conditioned to second guess ourselves, to think we're overreacting, that we're being dramatic, that we're needy, and we feel broken. And so we shut off our gut. We shut off our inner voice. And that's what happens in a relationship with a narcissist. So tonight, let's talk about the dating cycle with a narcissist. These are the signs that you want to pay attention to, because there is life after a narcissistic relationship. So I'm also here to give you hope for the future. We all have a future, and it's what we create. But we're going to go through some bumps and bruises along the way as we shed our old self, the self that was groomed in a narcissistic relationship. So as we shed and we begin to come into who we really are and our purpose in life, things become clearer and brighter after a relationship with a narcissist. Let's talk about what the 5 signs are. Because, listen, let's be honest, not all narcissists show up with rage and disrespect. I mean, that would be great if they did, because we would not want to know that person. We wouldn't fall in love with that person. No, we're falling in love with someone who is charming. We're falling in love with someone who we feel that we can connect with, that they get us, that they make us feel safe. That's what attracted me to a narcissist. I felt safe with him. You know, he was very tall and very charming and just a likable guy. Now, if any of my friends see this, they'll say, girl, okay, because he was an overt narcissist. So he didn't hide his arrogance. He didn't hide his self-absorbed, self-inflated ego. He didn't hide any of that. So yeah, he was obnoxious and everyone knew it. But with me, I saw a side of him that was soft. He was a big teddy bear. So if any of you can relate to any of this, drop a heart in the chat or a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know if this is resonating with you at all. I know I'm not the only one. So let's talk about how their charm is actually a trap. And it's important for us to be able to catch these signs early. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you've gotten a lot of lessons in this relationship. You are learning or have learned what you don't want. And of course, that causes fear going into a new relationship, because that we don't want to experience this again. So retraining your brain is a big part of the healing journey. This is what I teach in my practice, in my program, Passage to Peace. You can go to my website for more information, The Passage to Peace. But let's get back to the 5 red flags. Number 1, love bombing feels just like a fairy tale. Too good to be true. We know what the saying is. If it's too good to be true, then it must be too good. It must not be real. It must be danger. It's probably not going to last. All of those things. But how do you know that? When you're dating someone that you feel good with, you feel a connection with, they're so loving and they listen and they're so kind and caring. how do you know that you're being love bombed? And honestly, you don't know. You don't know you're being love bombed until the moment you experience the opposite. So of course there is a car horn going off. If y'all can hear that, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just going to keep going. This is really important too. So I think, the distraction is very timely, but I'm going to keep it rolling. You don't know you're being love bombed until you're not. That's number one. But that's also the red flag, is because we're being love bombed, we're getting all this affection, maybe even gifts, and maybe even I love you sooner than is appropriate that you feel. It's like, wow, they're saying I love you already, or making you want to say that you love them too soon. We don't realize it's too soon because we are enamored. We are in love. We think we're in love because of the connection, because of the feeling when we're with them. We don't know that they're actually preying on this, that this is part of the game. I did a reel the other day about the game. You have to know how to play the game. So we're also talking tonight about their game. So the game that we're not aware of, and there's no way you can't be, so there's no need to blame yourself for not seeing the signs. We don't know what we don't know, so you have to give yourself grace. You have to give yourself compassion. You don't know what you don't know. And then there's also what we bring into the relationship. That's a whole nother healing room topic. So I'm going to get back on topic. Love bombing, when it just feels so right early in the relationship, like you immediately get a connection, feel a connection. You immediately, are just head over heels. And I was immediately head over heels. Over the top affection is a sign of love bombing. The declaration of love early in the relationship is a sign of love bombing. When they say we're soulmates, we were meant to be together, we're twin flames, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. Within weeks of the relationship, this is love bombing. This is manipulation masked as romance. Now, the thing is we don't recognize it until something happens that kind of shocks us. So let's say you just have all of these wonderful feelings and they feel great, and then one day they do something or say something disrespectful. And it makes you pause. It makes you say, oh, where did that come from? That's not like him or her. Where is this coming from? But because of the love bombing, we as empathetic people, because a narcissist is attracted to empathetic people for this very reason, we are more likely to forgive, overlook, rationalize it, justify it. Oh, they had a hard day. I get it. They had a hard day. I brought up a sensitive topic. I shouldn't have done that. Caught them off guard. That was my fault. We're more likely to blame ourselves. But the sign that we're missing is they have gone in order, because it's so textbook. They've gone from love bombing to devaluing. And I promise you, it's a test. The first time you experience it, it's a test. They are testing you to see what you will allow. And so if all they have to do is say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And you say, no, don't worry about it. I shouldn't have said what I said. It's my fault. I know you had a hard day. I should have given you some time. That is us telling them, I don't have a boundary. You can say or call me whatever you want, and I don't have a boundary. I will not correct you. I will allow it. I will allow it. That's what you're saying. Because we are so empathetic, we are not initially going to jump to, oh no, you didn't. I don't deserve to be spoken like that. I don't care what kind of day you had. You will not talk to me that way. And set a hard boundary. That is what's missing in the early stages of dating. You will be tested. Your boundaries will be tested. And my boundaries were tested over and over and over again. And I allowed him to just walk right over that line. I allowed him by saying, no problem. Don't call you, you'll call me. Of course. I'm not going to stalk you. No, I'm available whenever you need me. Thinking I'm being nice and this doting girlfriend. But no, he was testing me. Don't wear that outfit. That outfit makes you look cheap. It's my favorite outfit and I like it and it makes me feel good on the inside. On the outside, oh, you don't like it? Oh, you know what? You're probably right. It's a little too short. I might be showing a little too much leg. And, you know, this is probably, you're right. A test. Now, some of you may not fall for those types of tests. I fell for them all. And I'm just going to put it out there. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be truthful and honest. I'm over being embarrassed by it and ashamed of it and blaming myself. No, because I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve it. And I know who I am today. I'm getting off track. So in what ways are your boundaries being tested and disrespected? And in the love bombing stage, you will know when you go from feeling so good and so safe and so comfortable and never argued and all of a sudden out of nowhere, boom, disrespect. That is your sign. That is a red flag that should not be taken lightly. No matter who they are, what kind of day they had, you deserve fill in the blank. Number 2. Instant intensity and isolation. They want you all to themselves. Oh my gosh, that's so flattering. No, it's not. No, it's not. So at first you're flattered, but slowly you start isolating yourself from friends and family because they want to spend so much time with you. And you want to spend a lot of time with them too, but you also have friends that you like to hang out with. You have a family. You have, social activities that you enjoy that are starting to become problematic for you to do those things because they so lovingly want to spend so much time with you. And because we love them and we love spending time with them, we see that as flattering. But it's not. It's a slow tactic to isolate you from your support system. It's hard to recognize, but guess what's going to tell you? Your gut. When a man or woman acts needy, like they need you, they love you so much, but your independence is not okay, that is a sign, a red flag. So slowly you stop seeing your friends because you're spending so much time together. You reduce family time and you become emotionally dependent on them. That is the beginning of isolation. And the reason why it's hard to catch is because we too enjoy spending time with them. So this is not something that's easy to see. None of these signs are. But what's important is knowing who you are. And when I stopped seeing my family because I agreed to move 1,000 miles away, with him, I was okay with that because this is my new life. This is my new life. And then here I am isolated in a state I've never lived in before. And I'm still convincing myself that this is okay because I'm married now. And when you're married, you go off and live your own life. I had all types of rationalizations and justifications. But looking back, hindsight, I had become isolated for 17 years out of my 30-year marriage. I lived 1,000 miles away from my family. Wow. To say that out loud is wow. So what feels like devotion actually becomes control through isolation. And just because I agreed to move 1,000 miles away doesn't mean that I shouldn't see it as control. Because I lost my comfort zone. And we don't see it as that because we're in love. But it's a red flag when you find yourself removed from the people who love you. Number 3, subtle control dressed as care. I love this one so much because this right here, this one is what kept me agreeable and okay with isolating. I'm in a sorority and I isolated from my sorority for 25 years, I will say. I isolated from my sorority, from my family, from my friends. I said to myself, I don't have time for friends. I'm a wife and a mother and I have a job. Who has time for friends? I don't have time to go visit my family. I'm a wife and a mother and I have a job. Like that was my identity. That was it. And I was okay with that. That's the 50% of the problem that's mine. Remember the 50-50 rule. What 50% is yours? So when they start making decisions for you because they care, red flag. And my ex used to always say, I know you better than you know yourself. If you've heard that before, please drop a heart, a thumbs up, or something in the chat. Let me know. Let me know I'm not the only one. Let everybody else who's watching know they're not the only ones who heard something to the effect of, I know you better than you know yourself. They monitor the clothes you wear, the money, and friends. It's all about protection. He used to tell me birds of a feather flock together. So you can't hang with those friends anymore because they are this and that. And you know you can't go out with that person because they're this and it'll make you look bad, which meant it'll make him look bad. No, you can't go out to this sorority function because you can't be around all those men because you can't handle all that attention. I could go on and on, but it was all because he cared. And in fact, it was all because he wanted me to see it as care. And I did. Oh, he's protecting me. He's making sure that I'm safe. He's making sure that I don't hook up with the wrong crowd. As if I don't have a brain. Now, would my decisions be different? And would sometimes I make wrong choices in friends? Yeah, but guess what? That's what we do. That's how you find friends, you gain friends, you lose friends. But how do you know if you're being protected from everyone who someone else has determined is not a good friend or is not a good person or is not a safe space? So this control dressed up as care is very hard to see. But again, your gut. When your gut tells you something's not right about this, it is your responsibility to listen to it because it is your nervous system trying to speak up. But because we've been conditioned in this relationship to see it as care, to see it as love, we're not going to catch the sign. So even when they say things like, oh, I just worry about you. I just want what's best for you. You know, I just want I just want you to be the best you can be. I got a lot of encouragement. I mean, he was very encouraging. Dressed as control. Wait, the other way around. Encouragement. No, the other way around. Backwards. Back it on up. Control dressed as care. Control dressed as care. Can y'all back it up with me? Control dressed as care. This is not love. This is the beginning of a power takeover. And I know that sounds dramatic, but I get to be dramatic. I'm not too dramatic. I get to be dramatic. It's a power move. It's a power move. So have you ever experienced being reshaped by someone in the name of love? Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. And I can honestly say that defines and describes my 35-year marriage and dating relationship with my ex. I was reshaped in every way, shape, and form. I became someone I look back and say, wow. But you know how I know I was someone that I absolutely wasn't? Is now because today, being 5 years removed, I'm none of those things that I was in my marriage. I'm not a heavy drinker when that was the cornerstone of our relationship because he was a functional alcoholic. I no longer drink to enjoy and socialize. I'll have a glass of wine or two when I feel like it, but not to have fun, not to, no. So, what else am I not? I am not someone who has to dress a certain way in order to receive their approval. And I love when I walk out of the house wearing something I know he would say, where do you think you're going in that? Go change. You're not wearing that. I'd go right on up the stairs. Oh, it must be inappropriate or something like that because I want to look like a wife because I didn't know who I was. Now I will strut out the house in whatever I damn hell well please and wish you know what would. I wish he would. I wish anybody would. Okay. I'm starting to preach. Let me keep going. Number 4, confusion creeps in. This is gaslighting, but it starts with confusion. Confusion creeps in. They contradict themselves. They deny past conversations. They say you're overthinking, you're being dramatic. Well, what are you talking about? That was his favorite thing to say with the look. What are you talking about? Now, if that don't make you feel dumb, I don't know what would. Just the look. Sometimes, and my kids know this look too. He didn't even have to say anything, just the look. Like, what is wrong with you? Anyway, this is the conditioning that's going on to not trust your own reality. You can't trust your own reality because you're overthinking. You didn't hear it right. Your memory's bad. All these things I was told over and over. To this day, I have to remind myself, no, my memory's good because it actually is kind of bad, but it's because of all of the overthinking, all of the trying to make sense of my reality versus his reality, which the two never stood up against each other. And he was always going to win the argument. When you feel crazy for bringing up your needs or concerns, that's confusion creeping in as gaslighting. This is emotional destabilization. It's not a misunderstanding. Doesn't matter how many times you say it, rephrase it, repeat it, write it down, send a text message, voicemail, write a letter, 7-page letter. None of that matters. It's not about misunderstanding. It is purposeful confusion. Have you ever started second guessing your own reality? That is a red flag in a relationship. All right. Lastly, number 5, You are, oh, you're going to hate this one. You are addicted to the highs. I was addicted to the highs. I'm trying to think of some, but I'm sure there were some because I stayed for 30 years. I was addicted to this strong, confident, overly confident person who I thought was my protector. I was addicted to that. I was addicted to the love that he showed me. I really did believe, and I will say I still do believe, that he believes he loved me. He believes he loved me. And he did show moments of love. But I love what my sister would always say to me. That ain't love. Never was. She's laughing if she's here. Never was love. Because love that is mixed up with confusion never was love. So we're so addicted to the good feelings that the relationship brings us. We're so addicted to it that when they hurt us, the silent treatment, and then come back with, I missed you. Dramatic apologies. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Or they come back not apologizing. They're just back because they can. I'm back. I'm talking today. And, oh, okay, we're talking. We're addicted to that high of, okay, we're back to normal. We're back to feeling good. So when they devalue us, when they discard us, because the silent treatment is being discarded, when they discard us, we just wait and hope for the moment that this will be over, that they won't be mad anymore, that they won't be ignoring us anymore, that they won't, not touch us anymore. When they're withdrawing affection and they come back in whatever form, that is creating a cycle of abuse, a cycle of addiction. That's what that is. That's what we get addicted to. So this push-pull cycle keeps us hooked on the potential of the relationship, overlooking the reality that's right in front of our face. The reality that I was going to continue to be devalued in really severe ways. I was able to overlook that because, hey, when he does show that he loves me, it feels good. So this will be over tomorrow. This will be over tomorrow. We'll get through this. I'll get through this. He's getting what he wants. I'll get through this. So what you think is chemistry is actually a trauma bond in the making. A trauma bond in the making. So you will have to ask yourself, are you staying for who they could be and not who they are? That is 9 times out of 10 why we stay, because of who they showed us during the love bombing stages of what they're capable of. Well, why not now? Why not now? And I don't mean the relationship always has to be perfect. Don't get me wrong. But devaluing in a healthy relationship, do you think you're going to call your spouse or mate is going to call you a B? No. 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 No is a complete sentence. I learned that. No. Done. Complete. You know, I like words. If my sister's here, she'll say, too many words. And in fact, it probably is too many words because I'm keeping y'all too long. Lastly, I just want to remind you, the narcissist dating cycle: love bombing, control, gaslighting, devaluation, and then hoovering or complete discard because they found a new supply. So it doesn't always look toxic at first, but it always becomes that way if we don't catch the signs that they're testing our boundaries. Our boundaries will always be tested. The early signs are your chance to exit or show them what you are willing to accept and not. But we have to know ourselves in order to do that before it costs you your identity and your peace. Those are the 5 signs. I hope that's helpful for you. Listen, missing the signs does not make you a fool. I was never a fool, never was. I was empathetic. I was sensitive. I was codependent. I was a people pleaser. And unfortunately, the list can go on. Thankfully, we don't have time for that. We are human. We are human. But guess what? Now we know better. And our knowledge is power. We deserve real love, not a performance. And that's what love bombing is in a relationship with a narcissist, is a performance. It is a game. The game goes like this: love bombing, control, gaslighting, devaluation, hoovering. We have to know the game in order to play. And the tactics that we use are to prioritize ourselves, protect ourselves with boundaries, to not engage with the manipulation. Okay, so missing the signs doesn't make you a fool. You deserve fill in the blank. Fill in the blank for yourself. What do you deserve? And we have to check in with ourselves on a regular basis and ask ourselves, am I getting what I deserve? Am I being treated the way I deserve to be treated? But what if we don't even know ourselves? Then we're going to allow them to treat us the way they think we deserve to be treated. And can you believe that the way they're treating you is what they think of you? Woo! Oh my goodness. I just said a word to myself. This is why I do this. I learn something new. I feel something new. I gain something new every day. The way they are treating us is the way they think, is what they think we deserve, is how they think we deserve to be treated. And the only person who can say no as a complete sentence is you. Just say no. Just say no. Tag someone who might need to hear this before they get too deep. Tag yourself if you need to hear this before you go any deeper. Save this if you've ever doubted your gut. Save this, because the key is to trust your gut. But if you've already fallen asleep, if you've already gotten too deep, it's not too late to get clarity. I am creating a Darvo course. It's a masterclass. It's a mini course. It's called Darvo versus Peace. Darvo is the signs all wrapped up in one that you need to know to protect yourself now and in the future. Go to thepassagetopeace.com. I provide one-on-one coaching. I am here what's today? Monday. I'm here every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for you. Drop your questions in the chat. Let me know how I can help you. Let me know how I can support you. We got this. We know what we deserve. And if you don't know, now you know. Bye.